All right, let's talk about the used car market today. Now, the used car market and the new car market have both gone pretty haywire since COVID-19. I think everybody kind of knows that. A lot of people are just hunkering down in the car that they have and riding it out, it seems. And a lot of people are just trying not to buy new cars. I think a lot of the people that either buy new cars are forced to because, either their car failed or they kind of had to. Interest rates are still high. It's still a war zone out there. People are very turned off with the dealership model and just cars in general. I mean, you either buy a pre-COVID car or a post-COVID car that just feels like shit. And everybody kind of feels that. These brands feel lost. I mean, this isn't the topic of the video, but like all the brands kind of seem like they're like stumbling through, like they're basically all failing, but they're just kind of trying to feel around for the light switch in the dark, and they're just not making anything of interest or good. A lot of that's regulation. A lot of that's just they just seem to not care anymore, and they're pretty checked out. Obviously, that happens in what some people would call late stage capitalism, where it's all shareholder value, and it just has become this like cauldron of junk, if you will. And the heyday of cars was probably right before the 2008 housing market crash, and like any car designed or built around that time. And then from there, I think we crested, and then we kind of creeped back down, unless you ball out. There are still really nice baller cars, but we're talking like consumer stuff, like $60,000, $70,000 cars here at the high end, like $40,000 to $30,000 cars at like the middle end. But back to the topic. So IC Cars came out with this pretty awesome research study on the increase in what used cars cost. So now this study is just about 3-year-old used cars. So they took 2019 and 2025 as the example. So 3 years before that. So 2017 cars, 17, 18, 19, yeah, like 16, 17 cars and above to 2019, that chunk. And then 2022 to 2025 cars. And that's just like the not old used cars that people are like the still that you find on a dealer lot for like 40,000 miles type of car, like the second buyer, not clapped out yet, that kind of used car. 3 years old seems reasonable. Like the person had almost finished paying it off and then they traded it in, and then that's when it goes to the secondhand person. In 2019, 49% of those vehicles cost under $20,000. In 2025, only 11.5% cost under $20,000. That's a crazy change. There was 50% of cars like on dealer lots, on like a nice dealer lot, were under $20,000 in 2019. Now only 11%. And that's not even taken into account, of course, mileage and how clapped out they are and everything like that and interest and stuff. But just that change alone, they saw a rise of 48% from $19,700 average to $39.3. That's what passenger cars saw. And then SUVs saw an increase of 15.4% and trucks 28% in the same period. Crazy. Like, that's unbelievable. Passenger cars shot up like crazy. SUVs, of course, we know that. Trucks, of course, we kind of feel that. I did not realize this with passenger cars. And you see less and less people buying cars. Like it's all SUVs now. So the breakdown is, when you're talking about used vehicles, 43% of cars fall in that $20,000 to $30,000 price range. 26% fall into that $30,000 to $40,000 price range, and then 19% are $40K and that area, which is again Absolutely crazy. So, and then they even break down like some specific models. A Honda Civic in 2019, 97% of the listings were under $20,000. Now, only 5.7% are under $20,000, and that's 3-year-old used car. So, like a 3-year-old used Honda Civic in 2019 was under 20K. Now, only 5.7% are under 20K. And then you look at the RAV4 in 2019, 44% were under it, and now 0.5%. CRV, 42%, and now only 0.2% of CRVs. The Chevy Equinox, 88% were under $20,000, and now only 22% are under $20,000. That's crazy. I feel like that $20,000 price range isn't a lot of people's budget. For that's a lot of money for a lot of people to spend, and they are losing their ability to buy cars. So that means that the average 3-year-old used car now is $9,500 more than it was in 2019. That is just a staggering figure. It's rare now to see a 3-year-old used car, and I feel like 3-year-old is like a reasonable price, like it's like a reasonable time frame of a used car is 3 years old, because by the time you're done paying it off, it's going to be like a 8 or 9-year-old car, which is starts to become very old. 3 years, like still just in the warranty a lot of the time potentially. So it's a scary spot to be. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people's reality right now, and it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of shapes up and what ends up happening. Here are some more I just came across. So Mazda 3s, 100% of them were under 20K. Now only 9%. Honda Accord, 98%. Now only 2%. Toyota Camry, 98%. Now only 3%. Toyota RAV4, 44%, now just 0.45%. That is so crazy. Forester, only 0.2% from 85%. Just all of this is insane. And, a lot of it, they point at like the chip shortages and the COVID shutdowns and the high prices people were paying and all of that stuff. And then you couple that with the amount of people that are upside down on their loan. I think it's 1 in 5 people are upside down right now. And just today I was reading that 5.2% of Americans are delinquent on their auto loans and probably upside down, so they can't even get out of it if they wanted to. They're just stuck in this, like, you have to get it repoed bubble now all of a sudden. But I don't know. I think about this kind of stuff a lot, just because it's kind of in my lane of automotive, and I also like the finance side of this and the political implications of it. I think this is going to be a larger problem that we're probably going to be talking about more in the next year or two. Obviously, the used car prices have been a problem people talk about, but I think we're getting to the conversion point, and I've been saying this for a while because I feel like it's been boiling, and at some point it has to be done, right? I mean, I guess nothing ever happens, but sometimes something happens, right? I mean, 2008 happened. That could happen again, but on a larger scale. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a crazy person, but oh wait, I wanted to do the price brackets breakdown fully. So the 10 to 20K price range, there was 49% of cars in that price range, and now it's just 11. 20 to 30K was 40%. Now it's 43%, which is actually interesting. That didn't change all that much. 30 to 40K was 10%. Now it's 26%. And over 40K in 2019 was only 1.5%. Now it is 19%. So they are showing a serious rise in the over 40K and the 30 to 40K. The 20 to 30 stayed about the same. And then the 10 to 20K dropped a lot. So basically, used cars just got really expensive. I don't know. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching. I like popping in with these kind of fun videos. Fun, in quotes. The destruction of middle class is so fun. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, support the channel by liking it, following along, and send me any interesting articles, and I can dig through them and break them down, and we can talk about them. But that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it saucy. I'll see you next time.